Okay, so what we teased before the break was some potential fantasy level reality coming to fruition for New Orleans Saints fans, as yesterday on Twitter, one of the most beloved Saints out there, only becoming more beloved with time now. It seems like every day goes by, there's another positive story about him. Our man, C.D. Deuce, has proposed a combination so powerful it would shake the very foundations of the boot. If you're watching online right now, you see that picture that just got thrown up behind me. C.D. Deuce tweeting at Tyrann Mathieu. Might as well break the news, come back to the crib, give him 7, and then did a bunch of smiling demon face emojis, which I got to imagine probably C.D. Deuce's favorite emoji. Like we were talking about. Like that just feels like how he lives his life is that purple smiling devil.
You don't think he uses the smirk like Danny?
Oh, no. He uses a smirk. Let's be clear.
Just not his favorite.
Yeah, I just think that he I think that he revolves his life and ethos and pathos around being just, well, he goes on to call himself a bit later in this, the Menace, which is a great nickname, and I don't know that we've called him that. If you had the Honey Badger and the Menace, I mean, dude. So anyway, he tweets Tyrann, come back to the crib, give him 7. Tyrann says, my boy, strong arm emoji. Shout out Jake. My boy, flex arm emoji. Then prayer hands. I also do love prayer hands. Underrated. CD Deuce responds, I'm a DM you my number. Okay? So, bridges being built. You're like, okay, that's social media, whatever. But we also have the social media context yesterday of a Tyrann Mathieu edit in a Saints uniform, the black on black. Tyrann Mathieu commented on that very random edit. And it was a story about rumors linking him to the Saints with 2 flame emojis. And then Aaron Wilson of Pro Football Network says that there is mutual interest between the two sides. So at a time when the offense has all the question marks in the world and the defense is the strength of this team, you could potentially double down on this defense and bring the Honey Badger back to the boot in a Saints uniform. It feels like the stars are aligning. It is time. I really hope they make this happen. And I'm standing because my chair broke, yo.
You potentially going to lose a star safety, right? You decided not to franchise tag him, and you're going to get Tyrann back on probably what I would assume would be a discount because of where it's at.
That's what I'm wondering. You think Tyrann's going to maximize his value right now?
I think he'd take a small discount. I'm not talking about something crazy. I do think he would take a discount to come home, play for New Orleans. I know a lot of LSU players that would take a small discount to come play for New Orleans. And so if you can do that and you save some money. Now, I know Williams has many more years probably left than Tyrann would. Yeah. But still, you're not thinking about 5 years down the road right now. That's not how the Saints do business. They kick the can down the road, so they don't have to think about that. Yeah. I'd absolutely be down for this. You're talking about maybe the most talented defensive back room in the NFL.
Yeah. Marcus Lattimore,
Paulson Adebo's not even pictured here.
That's what I'm saying. And then Paulson Adebo trying. Now, who was it we were talking to the other day about cornerbacks kind of as their sample size increases, it's really hard to stay on top of that position. Maybe it was Nick. But either way, yes, Paulson Adebo's going to have to do it again, but could not have had a better start in year number 1. So, yeah, you combine those 4 right there, dude. And Malcolm Jenkins, are you kidding me, bro? That is a
P.J. Williams?
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. That's like you said, that immediately becomes a top 3 secondary probably in the entirety of the NFL. And for whatever this is worth, it reinforces what is this team's greatest strength, defense. And I think there's value there. Again, I want to talk a bit about the fall of the Seahawks a bit later on. They got rid of Bobby Wagner yesterday. They are hitting the full reset. That man had over 170 tackles last year. Second team All-Pro. They're done. They're hitting the reset. They're going back into the wilderness and trying to build anew. Why Pete Carroll's sticking around is kind of blowing my mind a little bit. And he seems to be behind some of these moves, so he must have belief that he's going to be there for a while now. But the Saints are not in the same situation as the Seahawks in that they still have an elite defense, and they can add to that, and maybe it sets them up. And bro, if you had Tyrann Mathieu and Jameis Winston and Demario Davis and Malcolm Jenkins, the leadership in that locker room is some next level leadership. Also, I think, you know what, this sounds dumb. If Tyrann comes back, probably more attractive to, signing place for multiple players, including Jameis Winston.
So I will say this. You can't have too much leadership. I know some people are like, well, man, is that too many voices? You've got voices that have never been a problem with their teammates as your leaders. And also, and this isn't a slight against Jameis or really whoever came in, if it was Teddy Bridgewater, quarterback, whoever it would be, when you don't have that quarterback voice, you need as many voices as you can on the team.
Yeah.
Because if a quarterback's on a one-year deal, even if it is Jameis, it's very hard to be that voice that everybody in the locker room listens to. Like he's almost got
you're not
the franchise quarterback, right? So no, I'm okay with adding as many voices as possible. Like that is completely okay. And you really don't have that voice on offense. It's certainly not Michael Thomas, right? Alvin Kamara doesn't seem like a guy that's very, very vocal, right? And he's obviously dealing with his own stuff right now.
Type
quarterback, you have no idea who it is, and no disrespect to the big boys up front, but sometimes it's hard for the offensive lineman to be that voice. So Ramczyk or Eric McCoy or any of those guys, it's certainly not Andrews Pete, right? Armstead doesn't look like he's going to be back. You don't tight end. You're Adam Troutman. You're very young. You don't have a voice really on the offensive side of the football.
No, to me, the quarterback is Demario Davis on this team. I think he is the heart and soul. A1, and then he's obviously, I think, got his underbosses. And for what it's worth, I think that Jameis probably threaded that 1 year needle about as well as you could, right? I mean, that was a lot of the positive anecdotes coming out of camp and everything was just how beloved he was by his teammates and kind of how bought in he was. But again, you don't know if he's going to be on the team or not. But damn, dude, I hope that they end up with a backfield featuring the Honey Badger, the Menace, and I can't remember what CD Deuce said Marshawn Lattimore's nickname was. Sharp, maybe?
Lat.
What?
Just
Lat?
Lat.
Is that what he said? He just said Lat? Yeah. One of the best in the entire NFL. So let's not run too crazy with it. But, this is one of those situations, like we said, probably the only player going to Louisiana that can make fans happier would be Joe Burrow. This is the defensive Joe Burrow, and he would finally come home. It's almost such a fantasy that, we should stop talking about it now and just hope that it comes true because I don't want to get our hope too much up. When we get back, let's close out hour number one, talk a little LSU baseball as we're going to try to get it fixed. Keep it watching.